So a DUI is complex enough, and now you're under 21. You can't even be drinking alcohol and you get this DUI. The law is stacked against you. We're going to go through those details right now. Today we're talking about drinking and driving when you are under 21 years old, right? That's the cutoff here in Illinois to consume alcohol is the age of 21. So if you're under 21 and you've had one or more drinks, you get pulled over, the officer suspects it, he has you do the breathalyzer, you choose to comply and do that breathalyzer, well, what happens? Depends on the amount, right? 0.08 is the legal cutoff for a DUI here in Illinois, and that's true of everyone. Doesn't matter what age you are. If you blow over 0.08 or above, you're almost certainly getting arrested for a DUI. Doesn't matter what age you are, anyone can get a DUI. So now let's focus in specifically for people under 21. We want to focus in on that range below 0.08. In Illinois law says that there's zero tolerance. They will not tolerate somebody being underage drinking at all, especially drinking and driving. So you get pulled over, say you had a drink or two earlier at the party and now it's hours later and you're driving and you get pulled over. Say you blow 0.05, right? That's below that, normal DUI limit, but there's this zero tolerance thing. It says anything, 0.01, 0.02, doesn't matter. Anything above zero is an indicator that you'd consumed alcohol. And since you're under 21, you're facing zero tolerance. And what that looks like is if you're driving a car and that's your breathalyzer result, you can expect a 3-month suspension of your driver's license. Now, if you refuse that breathalyzer and the officer still, can show that, he believes you've consumed alcohol, they can submit a 6-month suspension of your driver's license, right? Twice as long. So that's the zero tolerance, right? Is you're not getting hit with a DUI in this scenario, but you're still getting your license suspended because they will not tolerate you having anything in your system and driving. That's how it works. But there's some extra little nuances there. The law here in Illinois has this sort of extra little thing where they pull down that legal limit for people under 21. I think what the law is saying is, not only should someone under 21 not be drinking, but they may not have the tolerance. They may not be able to operate a vehicle as well. And so they try to pull down that limit down to 0.05 if you're under 21. But they also have to show that there's some extra evidence of impairment. So let's talk about that. My scenario earlier, you had drinks earlier at the party, you get pulled over, you do the breathalyzer, say you're a 0.05. The outright DUI is off the table because you're under a 0.08. But the law still says if that officer can point to some additional evidence that you're actually impaired, right? And that you'd consumed alcohol, you got some really bad driving. You do terrible on those tests. You got an open alcohol in the car. You admitted to having a drink earlier. Your friend, ratted on you and said, yeah, we were at the party and you had a drink earlier. Something like that. There's extra evidence, not only of the impairment, but also of consumption. You can still get a DUI despite being at that 0.05 level, 0.06, 0.07. So that's how they pull it down from a 0.08 to a lower tolerance for a DUI if you are under 21. So what's the solution? Don't have any drinks and drive ever, and especially if you're under 21. It's just that margin is so thin that it's just simply not worth it. Now, if you already have been charged with it, then what we got to do as a lawyer is figure out, where you fit into that category, right? Is it above? There's 7 different types of DUIs in Illinois. And so a good DUI lawyer is going to sort of hone in and figure out which one we're at here, because those details matter when you're in court. And even if you're under 21, this DUI can go on your record. It's not like a juvenile thing. This is a traffic misdemeanor, and the DUI absolutely can and will still go on your record if you are convicted of this DUI. So the outcome really, really matters. It will follow you. So that's obviously why you want a lawyer working on your side to get you the best outcome that is possible. So if you are under 21 or the parent of someone who's under 21 and recently got charged with DUI, you've got some tough decisions to make. Make no mistake about it. This DUI can affect them. A conviction will revoke the driver's license. So no driving to college and back, right? You will not have a driver's license if you're convicted. Even college applications, right? DUI is a criminal offense here in Illinois, and that's going to be on background checks. It's going to be some mandatory disclosures on applications and things like that. So can be a really big deal. Now, it doesn't have to be a lifelong sentence. There are certainly ways of handling this and eliminating or at least minimizing the damage, but very clearly, it has to be handled the right way. And maybe for some people, even more so if you are under the age of 21, because you got so many opportunities ahead of you.